everyone that needs to start.
Yeah, I fear we may be on the internet already. So.
Yeah.
Don't say anything negative about anybody. I just want to say that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lorraine Clover are both attractive. You're always welcome to change the guitar, Kathy.
Oh, yeah, no, whatever you like.
Extra voice. Good morning, Carol.
奥さんにフェミのアドレスと電話ナンバー、奥さんがまだインストが出るから私と。
I have Terry's address. You asked Mrs. Oyama.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
You asked me so.
Thank you, yes, thanks. So,
I asked Ricky and.
Oh, good, we need to send a notice about Huntsville.
So,
I'll get it from her.
Linda will get it. Because the house is going to be on sale, then
Oh, I see how you're
nobody's
getting
going
that
to
soon,
live
yeah.
there, so.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You can put in start the Kansho.
We will, if we may, begin our service with the calling bell, the Kansho. And we'll presently strike the Kansho. Namo-jabutsu, Namo-nabutsu, Namo-nabutsu, Namo-mitabutsu, Namo-nabutsu, Namo-nabutsu, Namo-mitabutsu, Namo-nabutsu, 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 Namo-nabutsu.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the service, and also thank you for watching at home. On the first Sunday of each month, we observe the monthly memorial service, Shotsuki Hoyo, in honor of those members of our Buddhist community that have passed away during the respective month in which this service is being held. Sensei will now read the names of those loved ones who passed away in the month of June, in whose memory this morning's service is being conducted. For those individuals observing today's service in recognition of your deceased family members, please come forward as Sensei reads the name of your departed loved one and burn incense in their honor.
Sorry for the delay. We will read the names of those to whom we are dedicating this service, our family and friends who have passed in the month of June. Firstly, Aoki Takuma, Doi Rikiso, Fujitaki Mitsuko, Fuo Takashi, Goto Tamiko, Hamada Ito, Hamada Shusaku, Hamano Saka, Hatate Alfred Isamu, Hayama Asayo, Hayashi Yasusuke, Higashiyama Shokichi, Hiramoto Frank Keizo, Hiroshima Kiku, Hisayasu Bruce Katsuichi, Ito Shigeo, Kanebayashi Komura, Kakizoe Kakizoe Tsuruko, Kaeda Saka, Kikawa Shoji, Kikawa Yoshie, Kobayashi Fusayo, Kobuke Kanekichi, Masumoto Mayo, Matsuba Douglas Yoshihiro, Matsumoto Isematsu, Miyahara Henry, Mori Nobuo, Muraki Soyo, Nagayama Kamino, Nakamoto Mosaku, Nakanishi George Shigeo, Noda Kazumatsu, Nori Nobu, Ogawa Hiroyuki, Ogawa Jun Saburo, Oshita Isaburo, Oyama Toshimi, Ropyakuda Hiroko, Sakai Noboru, Sakida Kiichi, Sano Yoshie, Shimoda Tomeichi, Shimomae Takeichi, Shoda Motojiro, Sukasawara Misao, Sugita Matsuji, Takahashi Atoru, Takai Taju, Take Noichi, Shotsuchi, 田中機内、樽本初江、寺田光江、時信伊太郎、月田博則、梅田昇、若狭巌、山田国吉、山本久代、山下節、横山功、米田Narumi John. These are the people to whom we dedicate this service. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Sangha, please rise for meditation reading. The eyes being hindered by blind passions, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Yet the great compassion, without tiring, illuminates me always. By Shinran Shonin. Please be seated. Now we'll have a Sutra chanting. We'll be chanting Sanbutsuge today. You can find it on page 33.
Namo Butsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Nabutsu. Busatsu Daimoryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Hogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Myode Enmyo Uyo Tosya Ichigaten Mani Shuko Enyo Kaishten Onpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyolai Yogen Choi-ces Murin Shongaku Daion Koru Jipo Aimon Shojin Sammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shusho Keiyu Rintai Zennen Shobuten Hokai Gujin Jinno Kungon Gaitai Mumyo Yokunu Seison Yomu Minno Shishi Jintoku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganda Sabuten Daisho Ho Kado Shoji Mihuge Daten Tusei Joi Kainin Shojin Nyode Samai Chie Ijo Gosei Tokubuten Fugyo Shigan Issai Kuku Issa Dayan Keshi Ubuten Rakusen Okuman Muryo Daisho Sunyong Oja Kuyo Issai Shito Shobuten Funyo Gudo Kansho Fugyaku Kinyong Odya Shobuten Sekai Bufu Kage Bushu Takno Komyo Shisho Kenshi Shokoku Nyode Shojin Ijin Anryo Ryoga Thabutn Kokudo Daichi Oshu Kimyo Dojo Choden Kokunyo Nayon Nimuto Dato Aimin Dodaten Isai Jippo Aisho Shinneten Shoujo Ito Ga Kokeiraku Annon Kobuten Shinmyo Seiga Shinsho Kotsugan no Hi Rikisho Shoyoku Jippo Seison Chie Muge Yoryo Shison Shiga Shinyo Keiryo Shinshi Shoku Dokuchu Kagyo Shojin Ninju Fuke Namanabu, 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 namanabu. Gani shikudoku, byodo sei isai. Doden monai shinna onyo Namanabu, 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 Namo Mitabutsu, Namo Nabutsu.
Sangha, please write for Gatha today. We are singing a Texture of Life. You can find it on page 157. We'll be reading a reflective recitation, 6 paramitas, page 11.
The 6 paramitas, dana, giving, may I be generous and helpful. Shila, guidance, may I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Kshanti, tolerance, May I regard the mistakes of others with sympathy. Virya, perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. Prajna, insight. May I understand the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Now we'll have a Dharma message by Reverend Gibbs.
Well, again, good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here or viewing this service and Dharma talk, which are being delivered on June 4th of 2023 for the Pasadena Buddhist Temple for our Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of June. If you lost someone in the month of June, please accept my sincere condolences. I am sorry for your loss. My Aunt Kate died in June of 2019. She was in dementia between the ages of 98 and 101, but she was perfectly clear up through 97, And even she was one of just 2 or 3 people I've known that even when she slipped into dementia, she was one of those people who just accepted that she couldn't remember stuff, And so within 1 minute, she would ask me twice 2 things, like, so you're George's son? And where are you living now? So, I get used to saying, Pasadena, yes, Pasadena, yes, over and over. It's okay, I'm not the caretaker. I'm only seeing her occasionally. So, she's a wonderful person. I remember when she was 35, full of life and joy. So it just didn't bother her, But she did pass finally at the age of, I believe, 102, I think she passed. And I do miss her. Now, today I want to speak about what was most important to Shinran, which is Shinjin, and I'm going to suggest to you that this is what emerges from Shinjin is essentially what other religions call faith, trusting confidence. It's important that our trust in the vow of Amida Buddha and not in some particular fantasy of ours, but an actual promise. There is a promise to liberate all suffering and deluded beings. So it's important, but it is a kind of trusting confidence that we're talking about. And I'd like to quote briefly from a passage of Shinran's, from the Collected Works of Shinran, page 107, the Shinkan, as they call it, section of the Kansho Shinshu Buddhist Shomon Rui. I will read about half of this passage 51. In reflecting upon the ocean of great Shinjin, I realized that there is no discrimination between noble and humble, or black-robed monks and white-clothed laity, no difference between man and woman, old and young. The amount of evil one has committed is not considered. It is simply Shinjin, and then the next word is not Shinjin, it is simply Shinjin, serene faith, which is inconceivable, inexplicable, and indescribable. It is like the medicine of the Tathagata, which destroys all poisons, which destroys the poisons of our foolishness and our wisdom. Again, page 107 of Shinran's master work. And this most central matter on our particular spiritual path, Shinjin, is the source for, I would put it, and from Shinjin emerges faith, what is called faith in other religious traditions. Now, colloquially in day-to-day discussions, when people say they have faith, they often mean they're believing something on limited evidence or on no evidence. That sort of faith, deliberately believing that which is improbable, which seems improbable, is no good. It splits the psyche. It divides the person in two, the part that knows it isn't true and the part that pretends it is. I will borrow, as I have been doing right along, the late Reverend Dr. Leslie Kawamura's phrase, trusting confidence. He used this to translate one particular Sanskrit term, shraddha, but I think it's a good explanation of what emerges from Shinjin, again, what other religions call faith, trusting confidence. trust and confidence are necessary to act in this world. Trust is necessary for biological life. It is not just humans who need trust in our lives. Some of you remember when you were in college psychology, you read about these experiments from the 60s on learned helplessness. It's kind of ugly the way they did this, you know. They electroshocked these dogs. They did it two different ways. One way was by electrifying one side of the pen. The other was by putting a plate up there that the dog could hit the plate and cut off the electrical charge. They get shocked and you hit the plate and they go it off. Then they play around with the poor dog, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. You know what the dog does? He just sits down and gives up and gets shocked over and over and over. A terrible experiment, but an interesting result. We give up. You've got to have trust in life. If you don't trust your own ability or your environment, you just lie down and die. There's nothing else to do. We must have faith. We must have faith, trusting confidence in ourselves and the teaching of the Buddha in this world that we live in. It's not possible to survive without it. We must trust the world to some degree in order to move forward. There's much else that I could unpack from the concept of Shinjin. It is the Buddha's heart and mind, including us within it. Shinjin is enlightened living, making us part of itself. Shinjin is our own Buddha nature beginning to work itself out. Shinjin is the great ocean of light into which our little streams flow. Shinjin is awakening, as it is manifest in the still deluded person such as myself. Shinjin is the active, actual fulfillment of the Buddha's vow. And Shinjin is the source for trusting confidence, or faith, the firm confidence in the Buddha's vows. So Shinjin, indeed, may well have implications beyond the English word faith, but it does manifest in our lives as trusting confidence. But who and what we trust in is important. Now, one image of faithful living in recent centuries, the last century and a half, almost 2 centuries, that you find both in Buddhist and Christian tradition, I've found in both those places, I bet you find it dang near everywhere now in world religions, but it is the image of boarding a train that's going to carry you to goodness. This image of a train that's going to carry you to goodness, holiness, warmth, and security. Now, this image of being on a train traveling into genuine sacred reality is known partly through the 1965 impression song, People Get Ready, by Curtis Mayfield. I think it was the member that wrote that. Yet even that sweet vision includes judgment. Now, on the one hand, we are told by Curtis Mayfield and the impressions in their Christian faith, there's a train a-coming, you don't need no baggage, you just get on board. That's beautiful. That's just what Laverne Sasaki said to me. That's just what Gasan Roshi said to Laverne Sasaki sensei. That's beautiful. But you know, later in the song, it says, there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. So everybody's welcome except the really bad people, which, you know, we don't have to ride with them. This contrasts sharply with the Jodo Shinshu vision, where the Buddha's compassion means that, quoting again that passage from Shinran, the amount of evil one has committed is not considered. Holiness, sanctity, goodness are what I feel that I'm being led to through the Buddha's promise and with the Nembutsu, which voices that promise. Others find sustaining goodness on other spiritual paths, in other religions, on other vehicles. But we are all welcome to board this train. The teaching that the Buddha's promise, the vow of universal liberation, will take us in, nurture us, and protect us, and lift us up into our full potential, this teaching is what inspires trust and confidence in me. Now, fortunately, there's something like 250,000 religious traditions on earth, and this is a good thing because no single religion has ever been able to speak to the hearts and minds of all people in all cultures. You can't reach everybody. There's a story that it's always been charming to me that this story is in all streams of Buddhist tradition, that immediately after the Buddha attained enlightenment, he's walking down from the mountain, and he is just like glowing. I mean, this guy, something's going on, you know. And so he passes just some Indian gentleman, and the Indian gentleman goes, oh, who are you? And it looks like something special's going on, huh? And Shakyamuni tells him, I am the Buddha. I have just awoken thoroughly to enlightenment. Now, this is contemporary English, but the guy says to him essentially, I thought I was something like that, and turns around and walks off. You know, the Buddha himself could not reach this guy. The guy seeing, wow, there's something special about this guy. He still couldn't open his heart to the teaching. That's why we need 250,000 religions, or at least 84,000 paths, because we just can't reach everyone with one image, with one idea, with one concept. In the Pure Land stream of Mahayana Buddhism, our faith is something that we're all doing together, awakening to reality. Theistic religions have faith in something that is supposed to be just there already, gods and such. The Buddhist faith, including the faith of Pure Land Buddhists in the Pure Land stream of tradition, is faith in what we're doing. Not just you and me, but it's what we're doing, this awakening process. We are awakening to the truth, not by ourselves, with the power of the Buddha transferred to us, with a billion or so fellow Buddhists. This is happening. Illumination, the project of liberation of all beings, is taking place. Believing is not something that we do, it's something we discover reflectively. You discover on reflection what you have trust in. What we do is to move forward with about 1 billion fellow Buddhists. What we do is to say the Buddha's name as a reminder that awakening is happening, and we are being included within it. We occasionally, relaxedly say the Nembutsu in forms like, I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life, or Namo Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Kimyo Jinjipo Muge Konyorai. Various forms of affirmation that, yes, I want to get on this train. Yes, I will receive that ticket. You don't need a ticket, according to Curtis Mayfield. Our ticket is Namo Amida Butsu. It will get you on the train, even if you only said it once, even if only you were going to think you might say it once. Everyone is welcome on this train. We do this, say the Buddha's name, follow this path, if it has come to seem reliable and precious to us. We do say the Nembutsu, and we follow this path into the light, if, when, and because we discover that we have trust in this path. On this path, we do receive faith from the depths of reality. Allow me to look back at that one sentence from Shinran's passage where he explains to us what the Buddha's vow says. And Shinran tells us that there is no discrimination between noble and humble, black-robed monks or white-cloth laity, no differentiation between man and woman, old and young. The amount of evil one has committed is not considered. That's quite striking. The amount of evil one has committed is not considered. Does not matter. That doesn't matter. Now, there is that Buddhist colloquialism that there's 84,000 paths to the truth, but it's a symbolic number, and there's really more paths than that. There's something like 250,000 religions, and there's other paths that are valid. However, many of those spiritual avenues promise goodness, fulfillment, and liberation for those who follow the path loyally, for those who are faithful, for those who live decently. How many of them say that this vehicle will carry you to goodness, fulfillment, and liberation no matter what the quality of your life is, no matter what you do? I really do think just ours. In any case, 99.9% of religions and spiritual paths tell you that there will be a judgment or a punishment, or you're going to inherit karma. The vow of Amida Buddha to liberate all does not discriminate for any reason. Good, gay, straight, leftist, conservative, good, evil. The train of the vow, the train of the Nembutsu leads us to goodness, but you don't have to be good to step aboard. The Buddha, as we conceive, the awoken Buddha, loves, cares for, and accepts everyone. You know, that line from People Get Ready is rejects the hopeless sinner who only cares about himself. The Buddha expects you to only care about yourself. The Buddha knows what biological life is like. That doesn't matter. Just open your heart and move into the light. It'll get better later. You don't have to turn good first. The vow of Amida Buddha does not discriminate at all. The train, the vow of the Nembutsu, leads to goodness, but you don't have to be good to step aboard. Now, I don't know how many gods, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas have these feelings. I don't know how many of us have those feelings, you know. How many people are there that you accept no matter what they do, right? I accept my sons, my wife, no matter what they do. I accept some of my friends, no matter what they do. But some of my friends, if they cross me in a certain way, I'm just going to not call them up again, you know. I'm going to say, no, I'm busy that night, you know. The Buddha accepts us all just as we are. For me, it's just Sho and Ren and Kyoko and some of you. I'm on my boys' side no matter what, right? That's the way the Buddha is with all of us. It doesn't matter what you did. Did you screw up? Well, what would you do? What would a Homo sapien-style ape do on planet Earth? You'd screw up. You'd be selfish. That's what's expected of us, selfishness and mistakes. Nonetheless, we want to stop being selfish. We want to stop making mistakes. And knowing that we're accepted just as we are, no matter, may just be what we need to stop doing wrong, to stop being silly, to stop being foolish. I find this teaching to be worthy of my trust, and it inspires confidence in me, and I know that many of you do as well. For others, there are those 250,000 or so other religions. Choose for yourself what the spiritual path is to be. I want you to choose for yourself. The Buddha wants you to choose for yourself. But just remember, the Pure Land, the Buddhist path, is the one you are welcome to travel, no matter what. Walk with us or board this train with us. You are welcome to trek with us, no matter what. All races, all ethnicities, all genders, all sexual orientations, good people, irritating, selfish people, the amount of evil you have committed is not considered. That's the message I want to share with you this morning. I will close the Dharma message portion of our service with Kansho. Join me as you wish. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu.
Thank you, Sensei. Sangha, please rise. I'll be reading closing reflective message. There is no place the moon does not shine, but it only illuminates in the heart of those who gaze at it. By Honen Shonin. Namandavs. Please be seated. Does anyone have any announcements? Sure.
Several of us, I bet. 10 people in the room, I bet we have 5 of us.
Hello, thank you for coming today, and thank you everybody for coming to help yesterday at our fundraiser. And I know you're not tired of fundraisers, so there's 2 more here today. And so after service, feel free to visit the kimono pop-up, Uchi ni Kairu. It's in the classroom, and new yukata kimono, all the accessories are for sale there. I think it's open until 4 o'clock, and also in the Sakai Hall. There's the barbecue matsuri for Miss PJCI, and last year's princess, Lori Meza, and this year's princess, Nancy Chin. I was going to say June Chin, but no, it's June's daughter, Nancy, are the hostesses for today's event. So please stop by both of those. This coming week, is our Board of Directors meeting, and then the next time you opportunity to come volunteer is going to be Saturday, June 24th. We have general cleanup from 9 to noon. So thank you very much. See you guys later.
So I think most of you know, but I'll tell our video audience that I am actually taking 3 days of vacation next week, and Kyoko, Sho, and I are going to Arizona for their Obon Festival. So I won't be here next Sunday, but there will be a service, and they're going to show a video of a brilliant Dharma talk by a guest speaker. So I won't be here in person next week, but I'll see you in 2 weeks, and the only classes I'm canceling are this Tuesday. I have a Fuken, a district minister study session, so I can't be at Tai Chi. That's the only thing I'm canceling, but you will have a different format next Sunday.
Good morning. My name is Marvin Inoue. I just wanted to, again, I'm a volunteer at Japanese American National Museum. They have a new show opening on June 23rd, I believe. It's a Friday. Does that make sense? It's a Friday night. All I know is it's opening, and it's called Aki's Market. So it has to do with a market that was here before the war. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to extend my thank you to Alan Goto, always helping with technology, and then also Kathy Kumagai for playing music for us, and thank you all for attending. I hope to see you next door for the Kimono Pop-Up Boutique. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Namandams.
Thank you all very much. I want to thank Kyoko as well for the flowers. They just get better every week. Thank you. Thanks to Kathy for being here every week.